So that brings me to the final question. Will I run in 2022? Everybody, we are heading to the doctor's today because it is December 13th. That is the day that we were heading to the doctor's, and that is the day we are here in Biloxi. Still celebrating for Matthew's race. We are actually leaving though because the doctor's appointment is at 1 and it is 9:07. But it was a good weekend. I want to jump on here real quick to say congratulations, Matthew. Once again, a 2:54:08 is a crazy marathon. I know your 2022 goal was breaking 3, but breaking 2:55 was, I don't even know what year that was to break. So congratulations. Hopefully I'll be able to race you one day at that moment. But who doesn't love this? I didn't finish my pizza last night because I wanted cookies and cake. Not cookies, a cookie sundae, so I didn't finish. But who doesn't love a barbecue chicken pizza or pizza for leftovers for breakfast? I'm probably not gonna eat this for breakfast because I'm not that hungry. I'll probably save it for dinner. But my, does that smell delicious. Oh my god, that smells absolutely amazing. But we're gonna head on the road and yeah. So much deliciousness.
What else can go in this bag before the groceries?
My legs hurt, but my stomach feels good. Back home from Biloxi, had some delicious hotel breakfast. It was potatoes and boiled eggs with Kodiak waffles made with their waffle maker. Absolutely delicious. In the background, Matthew is hurting. You can't quite see him that well because the camera's just kind of focusing on me. But we are about to head to the doctor's like right now. Like the appointment's like in like 30 minutes, so we have to go like right now. So we have.
I'm crippled.
So I gotta go, but I gotta change because it's cold in the doctor. So I'll be at the doctor's very soon. But congrats
to this old man. I feel so old and crippled. Them stairs are a disaster. Like at least I got that coffee go my way. Not even really going my way. It's cold coffee.
So let us talk about the doctor visit, how it went, what they do, and what are the next steps for this injury. And yeah, so it's Thursday the 23rd of December, which is a week and a few days after the doctor's appointment because we went last Monday. Not the Monday of this week, but the Monday prior to that, which is, let me pull up the date. It is Monday the 13th and today is Thursday, December 23rd. So, how did the doctor's appointment go? So first off, the doctor wanted to recap on what's been happening, what was my injury and all that, because he hasn't seen me since September or something like that when we got the MRI. So, the doctor was still concerned with the free fluid in my pelvis that was shown on the CT scan, but also the MRI, because the free fluid was an incidental finding, which means that it was a finding that has nothing to do with my hip. At least he thinks that this free fluid in the hip this free fluid in the pelvis has nothing to do with what my hip injury is. And so the incidental finding of the free fluid has nothing to do with my hip, and it's some whole other problem that we're gonna have to probably figure out, which we actually have a doctor's appointment for next Thursday, December 30th, to figure out what this free fluid is, because the orthopedic surgeon is concerned where the source of the fluid is coming from, because it is not normal for a male teenager to have free fluid in the pelvis, and it's quite a bit of free fluid. So that's worrisome. Not like, wow, we have to rush you to the hospital worrisome, but it's still like, well, we need to figure out where the source is, what is the cause of this, why is it happening, and all that. Anyways, back to the hip. You know how I talked about tendonitis, arthritis, tendinopathy? It's none of that actually, because that would have shown up on the MRI. Arthritis, I'm so glad to say that it's not that, because I am so happy. Like when I heard that, I was fulfilled with joy, because arthritis could end my dream of crushing a sub 3-hour marathon. And tendinopathy, I kind of wish it was that, because it's kind of easy to heal, but we'll get to that on another subject. Like, we'll get to what the injury diagnosis is in just a few minutes. So what also came about is a knee pain, and this became recent and was connected to my hip. So I described how I'm starting to experience knee pain and lateral knee pain right here, if you can see that. So then he asked me to stand up, do some stretches and movements, and he tried to see where the pain was, and it hurt over the trochanteric bursitis area, bursa area. And we did a leg lift when we did like a straight leg lift, flexed my leg, and then did the straight leg lift. That hurt so bad, and it sent a shockwave on the side of my hip, about like right here. And yes, I have a blanket because I am cold. It's cold in here because it's a morning time. I always wake up cold for some reason. But I described how I did activity and how the day I biked Matthew's marathon with him, very light, not even, I wouldn't even call that biking. Anyways, I cycled behind him, but the next morning, that day we went to the doctor's. I woke up very sore in my injury area, so I told him about that and how it's very tender to touch and just tender to walk on. So after he moved my leg around, he found out that where I said it would hurt to touch and hurt to move is the rectus femoris area, which I have no idea what that area is, but that's the area he said it hurts. And he said it's more of a muscle skeletal structural problem than an internal structural infection or tumor problem. So that's good, but also not good. But this muscle skeletal problem has to deal with PT. Because this injury is not a quick snap of the finger. It's not. You can't fix this injury in just that. You have to have functional rehab, which is PT. He said how like the 6 months of running I've been off of since July 17th was the last run. He said that would help, but the biking, that walking that I've been doing at work and biking behind Matthew is causing repetitive motion in the hip flexor. It's striking the hip flexor in a way that it's causing inflammation to be built back up. But it doesn't make it worse, it just irritates it more and it prevents it from healing and decreasing the inflammation to where I can actually start decreasing the inflammation enough to maybe start PT, or decrease it enough to where I can be able to start running again. So he thinks the origins and the origins around the bursa is very irritated. So that leads me to the injury. What does he think the injury is? He thinks it is trochanteric bursitis. So he then talked about a cortisone injection, in which we did get, and my results from the cortisone injection is it didn't work at all. Like, I have not felt a difference. I low-key actually feel a lot worse from the cortisone injection, which is surprising because does that actually mean it's bursitis, or does that mean it's something else? Because the injection would help the glute pain right here, but it would not help the front groin pain right here. So he said like chiropractic, self-massage, and PT would help decrease the inflammation, also help build strength. So what PT would do would help get the area around the bursa, the injured area, to help rebuild the strength and the flexibility around it. But we're not trying to target the actual bursa because that would just inflame it more. So overall he thinks it's bursitis, like I said, that needs PT to reduce the inflammation, have rehabilitation, and with that we need rest and PT. And that's what I've been doing the past week. Beside PT, I just want to rest to kind of decrease the inflammation. I actually started icing more. Has it helped? Yes, a little bit. Not severely where I'm like, yes, I can get back to running. Oh, I can do this, I can do this. No, it has helped little, but not a significant amount. I would say maybe about 10%, maybe 20% at max, but not a significant amount. Okay, but this is what scares me, is that someone had bursitis, same injury, because I went on Facebook groups and and I talked about bursitis, and guess what happened? They literally had the same problem I had, and they ended up having a tear in their tendon. Nothing showed up on the MRI. Nothing showed up on anything, any test they did, and they thought it was bursitis. And it actually was not bursitis. They went in with the scope and they found a tendon tear, and they had to repair that surgically. Another person also had the same pain, the same problem I had, and it ended up being knee tendonitis. I forget what kind of tendonitis in the knee, but it was some type of tendonitis in the knee. So that brings me to the final question. Will I run in 2022? I've been battling with this injury for 2021. Looking at my Strava in the year recap, it has not been the year I want it to. It has not been a significant amount of change. My fitness has definitely dropped on Strava. The year recap is not what I wanted. Looking at the stats, it's just kind of sad. Answering that question, it's tough to say. It's tough to see just because it's been taking a whole year. Yes, I did run in the mid part of the summertime, the mid part of the year, but it came back. And I have been dealing with it for the first part of the year, the mid part, not really. Then the second part of the year, I dealt with it. And so does that mean I'm going to have to deal with it for the rest of 2022? Will I be able to run in 2022? That's up for time to tell. That's up for time, the fate of time to tell me. I'm obviously not going to start running as soon as this injury heals. That's just going to cause inflammation to increase. That's just asking for the injury to come back immediately. I would obviously start PT, build strength in my legs so I can handle the pounding forces of running, which it's a lot, and I want my muscles to be strong enough to be able to start running. And then I would maybe start biking, or I would bike with the PT, because big gear cycling is very good for building strength. But I don't think I would. I would not run. So if this injury takes a long time to decrease the inflammation, and let's say it's September, will I run? Most likely not. Why? Because I would have lost even more strength. So I would need to do more PT. I would need to build even more strength, and then the big gear cycle. So will I cycle that year? That I don't really know if that would happen. But let's say these injuries end up decreasing the inflammation around March. Will I run? Still, I don't know. It really depends how my rehabilitation is going, my PT. If I feel like it's coming back, I will definitely stop the process. So being able to run 22 is a big goal of mine, but sometimes goals have to be modified based on your injuries, and they have to be modified based on the task at hand you're trying to get at. Is that better? I don't know. It's very bright. I'm so sorry about this light, guys. I can't fix it. Look at that. This whole time I end up fixing it after like 7 minutes. Because now we're closing out this vlog to get you the comment and question of the day. So the comment of the day goes to faster than your internet. Bros, bear bite hits so different in my household. Have you ever tried a s'mores with it? Yes, I have. Actually, for Christmas, I will be having s'more bear bites. Actually, I had them in Georgia. I actually had them last year for Christmas, and oh my god, they hit so different. They're better than normal s'mores because it's bear bites. I mean, bear bites are literally the best graham cracker snack out there. Besides maybe those frosted animal crackers, like, you know, the graham cracker ones with the frosted. So good. But they are so good. Like, you put dark chocolate, marshmallow, and then s'mores. Oh, so good. But question of the day, since it is Christmas time and this is a running channel, what running item, it doesn't even have to be running, it could be some exercise equipment, some bikes of running equipment, or if you are into running and you just watch this channel, what are you planning on getting for Christmas? Running related, biking related, anything related. What are you getting for Christmas? I hope I'm getting some camera gear that's on this. I also hope I don't know, because when I'm not running, it's hard to say what I want for Christmas, because I mean, it doesn't come to my mind. When I'm running, I'm like, oh, I want this, 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 because it's so much, because I'm like, man, I'm dealing with this pain, maybe this thing item can help. Ooh, I want to run faster, and my shoes need repairing, so I need those shoes, I need these shoes, I need those, I need those. So like, there's so many things. Also, Cliff Bars I eat during before my runs, and then you got nutrition during your runs, and so it's a lot when you are running. And so, will I be able to run and maybe have Christmas gifts based on running for next year? Hopefully. I also hope I get something for my hip, but I do not think so. Anyways, we're gonna close the vlog out here, and have a Merry Christmas, everyone. I know it will definitely not be Christmas, and I don't think it actually be past the New Year the time y'all are seeing this video. But anyways, make sure you seek happiness, achieve goals, and find glory. Hopefully I will find glory in running someday. Anyways.